Good morning, students. So this is your revision lecture of unit first. So first of all, what is science? Science is the collection of organized knowledge, that is science. So gathering of knowledge is mainly science. So next concept is of scientific method. What is scientific method? Means scientific method, it is used to understand a phenomena that is taking place in nature and the rules related to that phenomena. If some person observe a phenomena in the nature, so scientific method is a method that is used to understand that phenomena and the rules related to that phenomena. So what are these types of scientific method? First is observation, controlled experiment, quantitative reasoning, mathematical modeling, predictions, verification or falsification. I am going to give the overview of all these concepts. In observation of the phenomena is done like some person observes water flows from higher level to lower level. Then controlled experiment. What happens? He takes the observation and he performs the experiment in lab with different conditions. So this is controlled experiment. That means he is performing the experiment with controlled conditions. So we are conducting the same experiment with different conditions, and this is known as qualitative analysis. Third is quantitative reasoning. So what will happen when we are doing the controlled experiment? Suppose we are studying the nature of force. We came to know that if we are increasing the mass, force is increasing. And if we are increasing the acceleration, force is increasing. So force is dependent on some other quantities like mass and acceleration. So some physical means, in order to understand a physical quantity, some other physical quantities are also studied and the relation between them is generated. So this is qualitative reasoning. So in qualitative reasoning, when a person is understanding the nature of force, he will make a relation between force, mass and acceleration because both are interdependent on each other. This is qualitative reasoning. So physical quantities have been detected which are related to each other. So in mathematical modeling, we will create a formula which will relate all the physical quantities that are dependent on each other, like F is equal to ma. This is the mathematical modeling. Formula is made and the relation between different physical quantities is given by that formula. So based on the formula, we will do the predictions. If the predictions are correct, formula is correct. And if the prediction is wrong, that means mathematical modeling is wrong. If the prediction is right, we have verified the law. If the prediction is not right, the law has been falsified. So this is the sixth concept of mathematical modeling. Mathematical modeling is a method that is used to understand the phenomena that is taking place in nature and the rules that are linked with that phenomena. They are studied. So next question can be asked, what are the thrust areas of physics? There are two mainly thrust areas. One is unification and one is reductionism. So what is unification? That means we are explaining a large number of phenomena in nature with minimum number of laws. Large number of phenomena. Rainbow, dispersion is a phenomena. So many phenomena are there taking place in nature. In unification, large number of phenomena that are taking place in nature, they are explained with a minimum number of laws. Like sun, earth revolving around sun, apple falling on the earth. They are both the different phenomena, but they are explained by the law of gravity. Next concept is reductionism. This is second thrust area of physics. In reductionism, a complex process is broken into very small processes. And on each small process, physics laws are applied to understand that complex process in a better way. What happens in reductionism? A complex process is broken down into small processes, and on each small processes, physics laws are applied to understand that complex process easily. So we have taken the example of burning of a coal, how electricity is produced by burning the coal. So this is there. Next topic is scope of physics. Scope of physics refer to the sizes which we can study in physics. So mainly it refer to the size which we can study in physics. Physics also helps in understanding the microscopic sizes also. Microscopic means the objects which can't be seen with the eye. Physics also helps in studying the mesoscopic particles also. Meso means when few thousand atoms are joined together. That is the size of mesoscopic. And physics is also used to understand the macroscopic size particles, like the planets. This is considered macro means which means visible with eye. So we have done what is scope of physics, which we can study, a range of sizes which we can study in physics. So this is the scope of physics. Next is what are the excitements of physics. Excitement of physics means the excitement that is given by the inventions. Excitement means excitement given by the inventions of physics, which are based on the principles of physics. So excitement that is given by the inventions of science and which are based on the laws of physics. So this is excitement of physics. So next topic is how physics is related to other branches. Physics in relation with chemistry. The electrostatic forces of physics, they exist in the ionization compounds, ionic compounds. So electrostatic forces are required to study the nature of ionic compounds in chemistry and to study the chemical bonding also. Physics with the relation to medical. MRI technique use magnets to diagnose the diseases in human beings, like this. Radioactivity is used for the treatment of cancer, and radio waves are used in this technique. Physics is also used in astronomy because telescopes, they are made on the basis of laws of physics. And in geology and oceanography, some instruments are being used which are made on the basis of laws of physics. So physics is used in relation with chemistry, in relation with medical, in relation with astronomy, in relation with geology and oceanography. So next topic is what are the different type of forces in nature. Gravitational force, electromagnetic force, they are macroscopic in nature. Strong nuclear force and weak nuclear force, so they are the microscopic in nature. Two exist at the atomic level and they at the macroscopic level, gravitational, electromagnetic. We will discuss these forces in detail now. Gravitational force is due to the mass of a body. Earth attracts an apple falling towards it. So gravitational force is a long range force as it acts between the different planets. It is the attraction in nature only. But it is not the strongest force, it is the weakest force among all the four forces. Okay. So electromagnetic force. Suppose a charge. What is charge? Charge is due to electrons. If the charge is not moving, it applies electrical force. But if the charge is moving, it applies a magnetic force. So these electromagnetic forces are due to the charges, forces due to electrical charges. These charges are also present in chalk also. Atoms, they contain the atoms are charged particles. but they are having zero neutral net charge on atom is zero neutral. So the particles of chalk, they get stuck with the board due to electromagnetic force. Electromagnetic force are due to electrical charges, and they are the long range forces. They can do both the attraction and repulsion. If they are both positive charges, repulsion will be there, one positive and negative, attraction will be there. They are more stronger than the gravitational forces, 10 is to power 39 times stronger than the gravitational forces. Another concept is strong nuclear force, and fourth force is weak nuclear force. Strong nuclear force, it work means it act inside the nucleus, and they are the short range forces. Mainly do the attraction but also can do the repulsion. It is strongest of all the forces. Range is small but strongest of all the forces. Okay. Weak nuclear force is having attraction nature, and it is a short range force, and it also act inside the nucleus. So gravitational force is the weakest force out of all, and nuclear force is the strongest of all the forces. So there are some conservation laws. First is conservation of charge. So what says this? Charge can neither be created nor be destroyed. The total charge on isolated system remains constant. What is this isolated system? The isolated system, it will consist of so many bodies, like this is body 1, body 2, body 3, body 4, body 5, body 6. But no force is acting on these bodies. That is isolated system. So the total charge on isolated system, it will remain the constant. So this is the definition of law of conservation of electric charge. Next is the law of conservation of mass and energy. Mass and energy are converted to each other. This law says E is equal to mc square. Law of conservation of energy, this we have read in 9th class. Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but can be converted from one form to another. Law of conservation of linear momentum. What is momentum? Momentum is the product of mass and velocity. Momentum of a system is constant. This is. So these are some laws of conservation. This is also in your syllabus. They can also be asked. So next topic is you have to remember some principles of physics and the technology based on them. So the principle of physics is electromagnetic induction, and the technology based on them is electrical generator. So the principle of physics is digital electronics, and computer is based on them. And you have to remember one or two physicist names like Sir Isaac Newton, who has discovered the laws of motion, gravitation, like this. Albert Einstein means theory of relativity. So Archimedes, we have read in 9th, he has means got the concept of buoyancy, and Maxwell is electromagnetic theory. 2 or 3 scientists you remember, and 2 or 3 principles of physics you must remember. So first chapter is completed. We will be starting with second chapter, units and measurements. So first in units and measurement, what is a question of physical quantity? You should know physical quantity. Quantity which can be measured is known as physical quantity. Mass is a physical quantity. Time, like this. Length is a physical quantity. So first concept is, what is measurement? That means we are comparing the size of a physical quantity with respect to a number. That is measurement. So comparing the size of physical quantity with a number is measurement. And in the process of measurement, physical quantity is compared with a standard quantity. In the process of measurement, a physical quantity is compared with a standard quantity. And what is measurement? Means we are comparing the physical quantity The size of a physical quantity is related to a number, that is measurement. What is a unit? Unit is the measurement of physical quantity. When we are doing the measurement, that is unit. Unit is the measurement of physical quantity. So how physical quantity and unit are related? Q is the physical quantity. Q is the measurement of physical quantity. N is a number and U is a unit. Q is equal to NU. This is the relation between physical quantity and the unit. U is unit. Like 2 centimeter. 2 is the N, centimeter is the unit. So measurement of physical quantity is known as unit. So Q is equal to like 4 kg. 4 is N and U is a unit. Volume also depend on length. Area also depend on length. Distance also depend on length. This is also a volume is a physical quantity. Area is a physical quantity. Distance is a physical quantity. They all depend on the length. So we say length is a fundamental quantity. And volume and area, they are derived from length. So they are the derived quantities. So there are two types of quantities. One is fundamental quantities and another is derived quantities. So what is a fundamental quantity? Fundamental quantity is one which can't be expressed in terms of other fundamental quantity. Example, length cannot be denoted by mass or time. Length is unique. So this is a fundamental quantity. Fundamental quantity is one which can't be expressed in terms of other fundamental quantity. But derived quantities are those which are obtained by fundamental quantities. So here are the list of fundamental quantities: length, mass, time, electric current, temperature, amount of substance, luminous intensity. Length in meter, mass in kilogram, time in second, electric current in ampere, temperature in Celsius, amount of substance in mole, luminous intensity in candela. So these are the symbols of fundamental quantities. 7 fundamental quantities and 2 supplementary quantities are. So supplementary quantities are plane angle and solid angle, radian and steradian, like this. So again, fundamental quantity is a physical quantity which can't be expressed in terms of other fundamental quantity is fundamental quantity. Derived quantities are those which are obtained from fundamental quantities. There are 7 fundamental quantities are there and 2 supplementary quantities are there. Plane angle unit is radian and solid angle unit is steradian. So what is unit? Measurement of a physical quantity, that is unit. So the unit, what is unit? It's the measurement of a physical quantity is the unit. The unit size of unit should be suitable. Unit should be accurately defined. Unit should not change with time and condition, and unit should be easy to reproduce. These are the features of a good unit: properly defined, doesn't change with time, easy to reproduce, and size should be suitable. Like we are boiling the vegetables, we are using 1 kg weight. This is suitable size. We are not using 1 quintal because with 1 kg everyone demand is satisfied. Different system of units used for measurement. Britishers used FPS. The mass is measured in pound, length is measured in foot, and time is measured in second in FPS system. Different system of measurements. First is FPS. It is invented by Britishers. French developed CGS, length in centimeter, mass in gram, time in second. And CGS later on converted to MKS, metric system. Mass in meter, length in meter, mass in kilogram, time in second, like this. So metric system was easier to remember as compared to FPS system. So MKS was the latest one. After MKS, SI system was introduced. So what are the advantages of this SI system? So first it is a metric system. MK system is a metric system. What is meant by metric system? In metric system, the next unit can be calculated by multiplication with a factor of 10. Like 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter. So 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter. So this is a metric system. Means the next unit of length like meter, centimeter, millimeter can be calculated by multiplication with a factor of 10. So they are MKS, they are metric system. So SI is also a metric system. Metric system means next unit can be calculated by multiplication with a factor of 10. Next is rationalized system. SI unit is a rationalized system. This is the advantage. Rationalized means only one unit is used for all kind of energy. Different energies have the same unit. Third is coherent. SI system is coherent. Coherent means suppose you are having two quantities, physical quantities. One is mass and one is acceleration. And you need to make another physical quantity, that is force. So in order to make, so you need only one unit of mass and one unit of acceleration in order to make one unit of force. So only one unit of fundamental quantities is needed to make one unit of derived quantity. So this is coherent system. SI system is a coherent system means in order to make a one unit of force, you need one unit of mass, one unit of acceleration. That means only one unit of fundamental quantities is needed to make a derived quantity, one unit of derived quantity. So no complex numbers are involved. Coherent means no complex, one is needed. F is equal to M. Can also be asked why SI system is called the coherent and rationalized. So this is very much important. Rationalized means single unit for different for different physical means for all energies single unit is used. And coherent means in order to derive a physical quantity, only one unit of fundamental quantities is needed to make a one unit of derived quantity. That is coherent system.